Hello and welcome, my name is Ansu, and today I wanted to talk about some of the books that has made me smile. Here's the thing, I laugh very easily, I cry very easily. More so cry very quickly, so that's probably the video I should be making. But we need to be happier, have some happy thoughts. So that's what we're gonna do. Happy thoughts. The first book that I want to talk about, I have talked about many times on my channel, and that is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I absolutely devoured this book when I read it. I just thought it was the most adorable. It made me smile so much, like a lunatic, but it also made me cry, but that's besides the point. So we're following around this character named Linus Baker, who's kind of like a social worker, and he goes to these orphanages to see if these children with some extraordinary abilities are living in peace, harmony, all that kind of stuff. One day he gets called into the office of the extremely upper management, and once he gets in there, they're just like talking to him, and they send him off on this mission to go to the house in the Cerulean Sea, where there are like 6 children who have magical abilities, and there's also this caregiver named Arthur Parnassus. Linus is basically going to go there and try to see like how they're living, how Arthur is as a person, all that kind of stuff. He ends up going, he's really scared to be there, but there's this whole like familial aspect that comes into play, and it's just such an endearing, lovely story. All of the characters have their own little quirks, and it's really adorable. It makes you feel so many feelings, and I really enjoy reading this. It just made me smile so much, and I would really recommend everyone to read this again and again and again. The next series that I want to talk about is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzi Lee. I have read the first 2 books in the series, and I really like the author's writing style. The way that the characters are kind of described, the way that they talk, it's just really funny. It has moments where you will laugh out loud, and I just think it's really fun. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. In the first book, we're following around Monty, who was born and bred to be a gentleman, but he was never really one to be tamed. And he goes to one of the finest boarding schools in England, and he's he's at the constant disapproval of his father. He gambles, he drinks a lot, and he's woken up in the arms of men and women. Monty goes on this grand tour of Europe, and his life of pleasure and vices are going to come to an end because his father expects him to take over the family's estate. Monty is also nursing this impossible crush he has on his best friend and companion in this trip named Percy. If he ever goes into a relationship with Percy, it's going to be such a controversy. Things are going to go really horribly wrong for him. Even with his younger sister Felicity in tow, he vows to make this year-long escapade really worth it and flirt endlessly with Percy from Paris to Rome. But one of Monty's reckless decisions turns their trip abroad into a manhunt that spans over Europe. I think I read this book 5 years ago. I don't really remember the details of it too much. I remember laughing with the characters. I remember feeling so much feelings for each and every one of them, and all the passions that they had and the things that they did. It was just really adorable, and I had a really good time reading it back then. The next one I want to talk about is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a super popular book, and I'm sure everyone has read it. It follows around 2 main characters, if I'm not wrong, and one of them is Alex, who is the president's son. On the flip side, we have Henry, who is the Prince of England. These 2 have always been a feud. They've not liked each other. Things have been really rough between them. Every single time they see each other, they have been in little arguments and stuff. So one day they have come to the conclusion that they have to work together, be friendly with each other for the sake of media, to show that, they're good with each other, they're good friends, whatever. That friendship turns into a relationship. It's super adorable, but also at the same time, Alex is just a very funny character. The things that he says and the way that he says it is just really funny, and I really adored reading from him. I had a grand time reading this, and I have always put Casey McQuiston on high up on my list just to read all the books that they have published, for sure. Just try to get through them all. I've read 2 of the books that they have brought out, and I've really enjoyed it. This one was one of the more happier books to me, the one that made me smile a lot more. Definitely something that I would highly recommend you guys to pick up. The next one I want to talk about is Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend. This one is kind of surprising. It is a middle grade fantasy, but there's this character named Jupiter North in there that make you laugh out loud. He's just very chipper, honestly, and he's just a really fun character. This is also a super popular series. This one follows around Morgan Crow, who's set to die on her 11th birthday, but right before that she gets whisked away into Nevermoor, which is like a magical land. Morgan has believed that she's cursed. Anything that goes wrong in her town, everyone blamed it on her, so she still thinks that curse is kind of with her throughout her life, and once she's in Nevermoor she has to kind of come into terms with things and go on this quest in order to fit in the world of Nevermoor. It's just such a lovely book and I had a really good time reading it. It's funny, it's endearing, it's whimsical, highly recommend it. The next and the final book that I want to talk about is There's Something About Sweetie by Sandhya Menon. I read this book a while back. It just felt like such a close to home kind of a book almost. We have Ashish Patel, who's like a jock. He breaks up with his ex-girlfriend and his relationships all kind of go AWOL. Worse is that his parents unknowingly said that we will arrange this date for you and you have to go on this date, do these certain things like going to a Hindu temple, go to his aunt's house, things like that, and he's just like, there's no way any of these things are going to work, these are not like date materials, but his parents are really just so sure that things could work in that way. And on the flip side we have Sweetie Nair, who is a formidable track athlete. She's a loyal friend, she's super sweet, but also she's fat. Everyone kind of looks at her differently just because she's fat. Her mother treats her terribly because she's fat and thinks that she cannot get a good match Ashish Patel. There's just no way she could land Ashish Patel. He looks amazing. He's kind of skinny, muscular, whereas Sweetie does not look like that. It's just a very sweet, endearing story. I don't think it's something that will make you laugh necessarily, but it's something that made me smile. Sweetie definitely loves her parents and it shows, but the way that her parents kind of treat her made me really sad. One thing that I personally really got intrigued by in this book was where Sweetie was from. All of these characters are Indian American, but Sweetie is also South Indian. She is from Kerala, which is also where I'm from, and that connection just made me really happy to see. I've never really read any characters in a more mainstream media book. South Indian from Kerala, it's always somewhere else. Seeing a Malayali character just made me really happy, and that's probably why I left such a wide smile on my face the whole time, but it was just a lovely book. It's something that I think everyone should read. It is very sweet. The relationship that these two characters have with each other is really adorable and I really enjoy reading it. But yeah, those were all the books that I wanted to talk about. These are some books that left a smile on my face. Let me know down below some of the books that make you laugh or just made you happy overall. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments. Bye!